Negotiations about the deployment of troops in Ukraine are being held by several countries, report The Times. Among them are the United Kingdom, France, Turkey, Canada, and Australia. The plans regarding a peacekeeping continent for Ukraine were outlined by the Prime Minister of UK, Keir Starmer, during an online meeting with the coalition of the willing leaders. The President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, also participated in the meeting. According to The Times, about 35 countries have agreed to provide weapons, logistical, and intelligence support for the potential peacekeeping mission. However, the UK and France are the ones prepared to deploy the majority of the troops in Ukraine.
Up to 30,000 troops from several nations, including the UK, could be deployed as part of a long-term peacekeeping force. From the Times publication.
The peacekeeping continent is intended to be part of Ukraine's security guarantees, according to President Volodymyr Zelensky. He emphasized that this is important for the security of the entire continent.
Everyone is counting on security guarantees to be provided by our allies. Security guarantees for Ukraine from Europe, the United States, and other countries that want to help us. And everyone expects that there may be some form of contingent. We understand that decisions regarding NATO or any other format should depend on NATO allies or any other allies, but certainly not on Russia's desires, their vision, and especially not on their veto.
The European Union can send troops to Ukraine without considering Moscow's opinion, as Ukraine is a sovereign state, declared the President of France, Emmanuel Macron.
Ukraine is a sovereign state, and if it asks allied troops to be on its territory, it is not Russia's business whether to accept them or not. Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, on a Le Parisien newspaper comment.
Prime Minister of the UK, Keir Starmer, called on world leaders to increase pressure on Russia and take concrete steps to support Ukraine. Starmer believes that Putin is playing games with ceasefire negotiations, but he is definitely not aiming for peace.
Our militaries will meet on Thursday this week, here in the United Kingdom, to put strong and robust plans in place to swing in behind a peace deal and guarantee Ukraine's future security. President Trump has offered Putin the way forward to a lasting peace. Now we must make this a reality. So this is the moment to keep driving towards the outcome that we want to see, to end the killing, a just and lasting peace in Ukraine, and lasting security for all of us.
One of the most difficult issues in the negotiations of the coalition of the willing about the peacekeeping mission in Ukraine remains the issue of the continent's right to self-defense, say analysts.
The rules of engagement and the rules of self-defense and what to do if the peacekeeping or stabilization mission is in any way attacked, these are some of the most vexing and difficult questions to grapple with. One would assume they'd also be part of any negotiation that gives this kind of force a mandate. Again, hypothetical, we're nowhere near a stabilization force with an active mandate. How you resolve these questions is extremely hard to work out, because you can't deploy armed forces on the ground with no right to self-defense.
On March 20th, defense ministers from 5 leading European countries will meet in the United Kingdom to coordinate support for Ukraine and continue discussions about actions to take if a ceasefire agreement is reached. Reported by Alexandra Zaslavets, Kristina Dombrovska, UATV News.
On March 12, at a meeting in Paris, the defense ministers of France, the UK, Germany, Poland and Italy signed a joint declaration agreeing to enhance European support for peace in Ukraine. The agreement also includes accelerating defense industrial cooperation projects. French Minister of the Armed Forces Sébastien Lecornu noted that around 15 countries are willing to provide various security guarantees for Ukraine. He also announced that EU and NATO military chiefs would meet again in 15 days.
Our military chiefs have also started drafting plans to present to political leaders regarding the potential security architecture. The goal is to establish peace and a ceasefire that would be sustainable in the long term.
The effort to create a coalition of the willing to support Ukraine's security is gaining momentum, according to UK Defense Minister John Healey following his meeting with his European counterparts.
The UK and France are jointly leading work on plans to drive the push for peace and drive the arrangements for security guarantees for Ukraine. We're doing this work together. We're cooperating closely with partner nations, and we're looking to build a coalition of the willing from Europe and beyond. And from today, we are accelerating that work.
According to Bloomberg, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer and French President Emmanuel Macron are leading negotiations among 37 countries to form a coalition of the willing in support of Ukraine's security. These talks have also involved non-NATO nations such as Australia, Japan and New Zealand. UK officials cited by Bloomberg emphasize that any Russian attempts to obstruct this process would be a deliberate effort to undermine long-term peace prospects.
Nations across Europe, the Commonwealth and Asia contribute either funding troops, aircraft or naval vessels to help protect Ukraine from the prospect of further Russian aggression. Defense officials believe stationing European troops inside Ukraine is an integral part of a durable, lasting peace solution. From the Bloomberg publication.
Earlier, French Defense Minister Sébastien Lecornu stated that Europe must reject calls for the demilitarization of Ukraine, a stance echoed by German Chancellor Olaf Scholz. Scholz emphasized that a strong Ukrainian military is crucial for the country's security, adding that Europe and the United States must continue supporting Ukraine both during and after the conflict.
But as Germans, as Brits, as French, we will not stay idle. We strive and make an effort to bring good progress about. I welcome the proposal for a 30-day ceasefire, and we will make a contribution for its success. Again, Ukraine's perspective needs to be that Ukraine is able to defend its sovereignty, that it can make progress on the path towards the European Union, and that it has a strong own independent army. The demilitarization of Ukraine has been one of the goals of Russia, and this must not succeed.
One key aspect of improving European defense, according to German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius, is reducing bureaucracy.
We can work together very differently on maintenance and servicing and make each other's respective bases available. We can deploy the systems together, so the aim of faster and less bureaucratic procurement has been agreed. It cannot be that a weapon system that has been certified in the home country of my friend Sébastien Lecornu has to go through a lengthy certification process again in Germany. We don't have the time for that. It's superfluous and costly.
Meanwhile, in Poland, Defense Minister Władysław Kosiniak-Kamysz announced his intention to undergo military training and urged Polish politicians to follow his example. According to Polish media, the Ministry of Defense is planning a 2-day voluntary military training program for members of parliament this spring. Reported by Kateryna Bastun-Kidi, UATV News.